Okay, if you can hear me, let's start at like 35. I'll give you like a couple of minutes to settle down. Uh, just open your notes to see what we did in the last class. Okay, Yuvraj, am I? Oh, look here. How will I be audible to you? Just a second.
So you are audible.
Lovely. Now, my headphones were not plugged in, so I could not hear you. So I didn't know if you could hear me. So yeah, that's how it goes apparently. Okay. Yes, let's start then. Let's start with the review. Let's start with the review. So, what did we talk about in the previous class?
So we did electric field of dipole if it's parallel to its axis or perpendicular to its axis. And
Yes.
when it is parallel, it is equal to 4q4 4a upon rq, which is also called as 2k p vector upon rq. And if it's perpendicular, then it will be the half of the parallel field, electric field of dipole.
Lovely. To the axis. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And when we were talking about the dipole, we were talking about essentially talking about these two charges. Where we had a plus q and a minus q.
So I
And
had a question.
yes, go ahead.
So, will the derivation of electric field of dipole perpendicular or parallel to axis come in the exams, or do we have
Yes,
to learn this?
yes, 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 yes. See,
So
you don't really have to remember it. Just if you understand how the logic progresses, then it should not be necessary for you to essentially remember any of this.
yes, sir. I mean, so we don't have to write all this when we are
Yes.
giving JE, right? It's for just for the CPSC.
Yeah, this is no, yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is only for CBSE, but CBSE asks this question directly. For example, it would ask you that derive the expression for the electric field for a dipole at a distance r away perpendicular to the axis. So that's a standard derivation that comes in these exams.
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Okay, let's continue. So you had this dipole which had these two charges and they were like 2a distance apart. We to characterize a dipole, we defined a quantity which is essentially denoted by p, which is the dipole moment, and it was a vector quantity. It was essentially the product of the charge that was present in each of these dipole, the magnitude of the charge. So without the sign, so just q multiplied by the distance between them. And how did we figure out the direction? We figured out the direction from negative to positive always. So in this case, it will be minus I cap. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. So let's continue on this journey. Let's think about a general situation now. let's think about a situation where you have a negative charge, a positive charge, both charges, let's call them Q. Again, a distance away. Now we want to figure out at a general point, let's say here, let's call this point P. Let's say from the center, the distance to this point P is some R. R is a nice character to use for distances because it donates radius. Um, okay. Now, to measure the electric field, to measure the electric field at any point here, at any general point, how do you think we should proceed? We know what happens in the parallel case. We know what happens in the perpendicular case.
So
So
what about what you say? Uh, what do you say? So like sine theta, cos theta.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So essentially, that is what I wanted to say. Okay, we know what happens in the parallel case. We know what happens in the perpendicular case. So in a general case, in a random direction, we can divide it in terms of its components. So, but what are we
Yeah.
dividing in terms of its components though? So let's call this angle some theta. We'll work with angles here because it seems easy rather than the length from each single point to this point. We can also um, okay, we can talk about the moment, which will be in the direction from negative to positive. It essentially just be q times 2a into I cap. However, you essentially want the components of this this moment in the direction towards the point P and in a direction perpendicular to the point P. Rather than calculating the just adding the electric field together, we can just divide the moment into two parts, right? That also achieves the same thing. If I've divided the moments into two parts, so see what is happening here. The moment which is in this direction, will essentially be the same thing as the parallel case, and the thing in the perpendicular direction will essentially be the thing in the perpendicular case. Does that make sense?
So basically we shifted the frame. Like if
Yes.
you have to generalize.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That is exactly what we're doing. So we are just dividing P instead of writing the whole electric field and then adding it together.
Yes, sir. So we are coinciding R with the perpendicular one and the other one with the parallel.
Lovely. So let's calculate the parallel case. So parallel means the one in the direction along the line O. So this point is O to P. Okay, along the line O to P. So let's just say along the line O to P. What will be the component? So what will be your P parallel?
Sir, L of X or L of A, L of 2A,
I'm sorry.
L
Uh,
into 2A.
L. What is L? I don't know any L.
So Q into 2A, Q into 2A, sorry. Q into,
Yes, Q into 2A. But what component? Q into 2A is in this direction, right?
Sir, in the direction of P.
So in the direction of P, so the theta is in the same part. So this component will always be the cos component. That's an easy way to remember these. जिस तरफ तुम जा रहे हो, that will be the cos component, and away will be the sine component. It's a easy memory, essentially a trick. So what direction is this? This is in the direction r cap, correct?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Now what about the perpendicular component? What is the p? P perpendicular. It's again q times 2a, but this time it's sine theta. But what is the direction? How will you write this direction down? Yuvraj, are you there?
Sorry, sir, I just found that I muted myself.
Oh, no problem, no problem. So yes. So what direction is this?
Sir, this will be in the direction of minus R.
See, my minus R will be in this direction. Minus R will be in this direction,
So,
correct?
सर तो ये तो मतलब
It's
पैरेलल है
just
ना, तो ये तो मतलब
perpendicular.
साइन
है.
थीटा क्यूब.
See, it's just the direction perpendicular to the R direction, correct? So let's just call it some R perpendicular.
यस.
Who cares? Correct. What's in the name? It's we know what the direction is. We know what the direction is. Keep it in our minds. So now essentially what we've done is we have one dipole and we've divided one dipole into two dipoles. One which is parallel to the direction and one which is perpendicular to the direction. Correct?
जी.
Lovely. So we can what we can do directly is just calculate what the E parallel is because of this dipole, and we can calculate what E perpendicular is because of this dipole, and then we
So
can just add them up.
1 minute. One minute, sir.
Yes,
So
go ahead.
we were given a dipole OP, right?
Yeah. No, the dipole is this, right? From minus Q to plus Q.
We divided this dipole into half, and one of this dipole was taken as OR, and the other one was taken perpendicular to it, right?
OR. What is OR? Can you say that again? I didn't quite get that.
After,
No, no. So
so what we
essentially,
have done,
huh?
what do we mean by dividing the dipole into two parts? Like basically the question was,
See, a dipole is in this direction. It's essentially a vector, correct?
yes, sir.
We can divide it into any two components which are perpendicular to each other, correct? If we know the angle.
Yes, sir.
Essentially, that is what we've done. Essentially, one vector को दो vectors में divide कर दिया. The parallel part
Yes, sir.
and the
So
perpendicular.
basically, we have divided the dipole into O in R direction and O in the opposite direction,
Yes, in the
which is
perpendicular
perpendicular.
direction. Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes, lovely.
Got it.
So, what's the E parallel? उसका formula क्या था? Can you remind me?
So E parallel is Q.
Not in terms
Well,
of P. In terms of P. Q पता है मेरे को.
in terms of Q, okay, so it will be K P upon R cube.
Kp upon R cube. Lovely. Okay, lovely. But this is the cos theta. But this, so it will be P cos theta. Sorry. Yes. Kp cos theta.
So
P
actually,
is essentially the initial.
it's parallel, so it will be 2 Kp upon R cube.
It will be
2 Kp upon R cube.
2 kp upon.
Yes.
This is the parallel direction, correct? What direction will the electric field be in?
Sir, it will be, electric field will be in the direction of P parallel.
Yes, it will be in, but will it be going outwards or will it be going inwards?
Outwards.
Lovely. Why?
So, because it's positive.
No, because your convention, because your convention is from here to here. So when you're dividing it here, so it will start from here and will end here. It's just by definition. It was just a
Theta
trick
is
question.
positive.
Yes, lovely. Okay, what about the E perpendicular?
Sir, Kp P
Sine.
perpendicular sine theta upon R cube
Not
in
P
the.
perpendicular sine theta. It will just be P sine theta. So P को मैं ये बोल रहा है, ये जो चीज़ है ये P है. So it's P cos theta and P sine theta लिख दिया मैं. Yeah, I
Oh, जी
removed
sir.
the parallel here. Also, sorry, I didn't say that. Okay, so this is just Kp sine theta upon R cube. What direction again?
Inward direction.
This will be in the inward direction.
Yes, sir, inward direction.
Why?
So, because theta is minus and it's going inside.
So if
So, like,
if you remember when we calculated the perpendicular case, what we got when it was negative and positive, the electric field was in this direction, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, what am I saying? What am I saying? How can the electric field be in that direction? This electric field will cancel out. It will be in the outward direction, correct? So it will
No
be in the
positive.
outward direction only. It will be in the positive
So
direction only.
if they both are positive, then
Huh? But
if we have positive charges, the dipole has negative one.
oh
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. Yes. So this will actually be in this direction. Yes. Lovely. So this will be in the minus r perpendicular direction. This r perpendicular direction that we imagined, this particular direction, we called r perpendicular. So essentially the minus of that. So the minus r perpendicular direction, correct?
Yes.
So let's calculate the overall electric field then. So the electric field total, if you just want to calculate the magnitude, well, that's just going to be the square root of E parallel squared plus the modulus of this times the modulus of E perpendicular squared. You can
सर
write
आई
it.
गेस हमें वापस जाना मुश्किल हो जाएगा तो मैं नोट कर लूं पहले.
Yes, okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll just remove
One
things
minute.
from here only.
सर वो तो आप आगे फॉरवर्ड करोगे तो वापस आ जाएगा ना लिखने में.
शायद. Okay, so
Why have we why have we taken minus r arrow over there? Like I don't think it's being used. उसका
this
कोई यूज है सर?
इसका r perpendicular का
सर जो हमने ओ आर के ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में एक एरो बनाया.
इसका यूज नहीं that I just drew because you said minus r cap, right? So I just showed you this direction is just minus r cap essentially. That is what I wanted to say. Because this direction is r cap, so this direction will be minus r cap, correct?
So so basically positive theta और negative theta से direction decide हो.
See, theta you can put anywhere. Theta you can make it here also. But just remember how you're essentially doing. One component parallel and one component perpendicular. Just if your initial sign convention is correct, then everything will that follows will be correct. Just never change your sign convention beach. Just pick one sign convention, follow that, and from the start to the end of the question, and you'll be fine. Whatever derivation you're doing, or make sense?
जी sir.
Lovely. So let's calculate the E total. So, well, the vector form of this will just be E parallel plus E perpendicular, correct? So this implies the magnitude E total of the vector. It's going to be the square root of E parallel vector ka square plus E perpendicular vector ka square. And these are all moduluses. So essentially the magnitude of this vector. What is the magnitude of this vector, the first vector? Well, that's just 2kp cos theta over r cubed times cos theta whole squared plus kp cos theta over r cubed whole squared. So the direction will be in some direction here. We'll actually calculate what the direction is going to be. Also, what happened to the yes, we're back. Okay. So what will remain? So the E total that we are calculating. See, everything is essentially the same, right? So everything is, you can just take out as common. So what all is common? P, K, P. This is sine theta. This is not cos theta. Kp over r cubed and the square of that. What is remaining is a 2 squared, which is essentially a 4 plus the cos theta as well, cos square theta plus a sine square theta. Make sense? We've just taken things common.
Yes.
Lovely. Let's just take this out of the square root. Let's see what will happen. Okay. Um, Taking things out of the square root, what we essentially get is just kp over r cubed. So you had a square, you had a square root, things cancel out. So the only thing that remains is the thing itself. But you also have a square root of 4 cos square theta plus sine square theta. Lovely. Now, when you have a sine square theta and a cos square theta, well, uh, one thing one thing to do is essentially just remember that sine square theta plus cos square theta is always one, right?
Yes.
So we can there's a sine square theta. We can take one of the cos square theta out of the four that there are, and three will remain. So what you have essentially is 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And that will be essentially the total magnitude of the electric field at a general point in the theta direction. This this part is exactly the same as so okay, now let's test the whether this particular answer is actually correct or not. How do we test that? Well, we can test it by putting in some values, right? Let's put the
Yes, sir.
value of theta is equal to, let's say, 0 degrees. Theta is equal to 0 degrees. So if theta is equal to 0 degree, let's come back to our diagram. You had a minus and a plus here, and the angle was this theta from O to P. This was this theta. So if this angle is 0, then it's going to be the case when it's parallel, in the parallel direction. Let's check if that's true or not. The E total. So we should get the E parallel case. That is what we expect. We get over R cubed. This is the cube here, sorry. Times the square root of 1 plus 3. What is cos 0? That's just 1. So it's the square root of 3 plus 1. So essentially you get a square root of 4, which is just 2. 2 kp over R cube. Well, this works. This works. So that's good. And what about the other direction? What about the perpendicular direction? Always check. Good habit. So let's say 90 degrees
So
or pi over 2. You have E total magnitude is just equal to kp over r cubed square root of 1 plus 3, and cos 90 is just 0, so you will have 3 times 0. This term will be 0. All you'll have is just kp r cubed. So we have verified that this essentially works. So at a general point theta, this is how the strength of the electric field will look like. Yeah, it's always a good idea to plot such functions. Whenever you see a function like this, plot it. You can plot it in many different ways. You see that, right? So how about this as an exercise? Um, Plot it for different thetas, then pick one theta, plot it for different r's, then pick a theta and an r and plot for different p's. Does that make sense?
uh, so we have to take a theta,
Hmm.
then we have to plot various P and R's.
No, no, no. So okay, so take some value of p, take some value of r, plot e as a function of theta. Okay, you'll see just to
Yes, sir.
see how this function looks like. Let's actually just do that. Let's actually just do that together. Uh, how do I go to the?
So why don't you shift, add a new page? You can even come back if you want.
Does this work?
Yes, sir. Sir, ये तो कुछ और ही
Hey, what was that plotting? Um, how do you say? Hey, what was the function that we wanted to plot? Square root of
नहीं।
1 plus 3 cos
Where theta?
theta. Let's just see. 1 plus 3 cos theta. Math way. Okay, this seems legit.
3 minus cos theta. So, yeah.
This doesn't seem legit. This is
So I guess we can change. Yeah, we can.
1 plus 3 cos theta, right?
Yes.
Okay, is this a calculator? Am I seeing a calculator? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, graph here.
I think we have.
How did
So ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज है.
Yep. Okay. So now, this function is just going from 0 to 0. So the only limit that we are actually considering is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, essentially. So it's actually, we're just thinking about the first quadrant, right? From theta is from 0 to pi by 2. That is all you care about. From theta, 0 to pi by 2. So all of the values are real. None of the values in the range that we are interested in are actually gone. If you see the function, it actually explodes from this region to this region. Why does that happen? Do you know why is that happening?
सर कुछ नेगेटिव में भी तो जाएगा.
Negative. So cos theta will go to negative, and the 3 cos theta will start dominating over the 1, and hence the whole thing will become negative, and the square root of that will be imaginary. So you cannot plot that.
Yes.
It's not here. My battery is low. Okay, just give me a second. Let's just stop sharing. Yes, let's come back to this. Just give me
So
a
why
second.
do
I'll just
add
plug
this?
my. चल लेता
मैं
हूँ।
लेके आ रहा हूँ अभी।
नहीं, चार्जर की जरूरत नहीं।
कहाँ लगता है ये?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is this working? Check, check. Okay, I can hear something.
So I can hear you.
Lovely. Hey, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. My laptop just gave up on me. It
Nah, nah,
literally
kuch
just gave up on me. It just screen just went black. I'm like, what the bloody hell? Yeah, sorry about that. Charging will have 4 minutes. Okay, where were we? Yes, we just calculated, yes, the magnitude of the net field that you will have around a dipole. So you have in any direction. And what I was saying that it's always a good habit to plot these things. So go ahead and not only do a one-dimensional plot. There are some more sophisticated softwares to essentially do a two-dimensional plot. Learn a bit of Python also. It's a nice thing. Plot करने के Pythons में already functions होते हैं. You can open Jupyter. You can just write a small code to plot a two-dimensional thing. uh, give some value for k, give some value for p, and see how the r and theta essentially vary in 3 dimensions. That's always a good thing. Now let's calculate. There's another thing that is left, which is the magnitude, right?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
So why don't we add a new page instead of removing everything? So if we have to go back, it would be more convenient.
I don't really know how to do that.
So there's this add page button at the lower right side of the screen. So I guess you're left, maybe.
This thing.
Yes, sir.
But this is not working. What is this? What is this? Okay. Oh.
Now you can go back
Thank you so
also.
much. Thank you so much. You solved a lot of my problems in life. Thank you so much. I hope I can do the same for you. But okay. Okay. We were talking about a random point P, which is at an angle
Oh,
some theta. Here the The P was in this direction. The moment was in the electric moment was in this direction, dipole moment. We figured out that the two components, one of them is going to face this direction, the other one is going to face in this direction. We have the relative amplitudes, so we can calculate the theta, right? We can calculate the angle between these two things. So essentially, it's one here, one vector here, and what we want to do is calculate the resultant. This is the E. This is because of the E perpendicular. This is because of the E parallel. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So let's call this angle theta. And so tan theta is essentially just going to be E parallel over E perpendicular, correct?
Hanji, sir.
Lovely. So, perpendicular. So what was the value of P parallel? Well, we know it was 2 times the E perpendicular, correct?
Yes, sir. 2:1.
So tan theta is 2. So theta is tan inverse 2. How much is tan inverse 2? What is the angle?
So tan inverse 2. No idea. I didn't do inverse figure.
There's always a scientific calculator one can use. Calculator, do that. Wait, what do we want? We want inverse. Wait, you cannot see this, right? No, you cannot. Wait, now you should be able to see.
Yes.
Uh, we want tan inverse, right? Do you see a tan inverse? Bloody hell. Sure. Tan inverse of it's so this many. So this is actually slightly smaller than pi, if you can see. Right?
Yes. I guess it's showing
No,
tan
no, no, no,
minus
no. It's
1.
showing some weird thing. It's showing some weird thing. Just give me a
So
second.
that's there's this
So,
link feature. How
yeah.
do you calculate tan inverse?
So arctan. Oh, so yes. So it's 1.107 radian. Arctan is essentially tan inverse. Uh, so these many radians. So how these many radians, if you want to convert it into theta, in
It's only 1.1 ratio.
uh, radians to degree. So this is around 63 degrees.
Yes.
Lovely. So it also gives you the formula of how to do that. So hey, really nice. Google is nice. Lovely. Okay, coming back. So one thing to notice, whenever you will have a dipole, the direction wherever you are, the theta, uh, this theta. So this, oh, I'm sorry. There are two thetas that we are using here. One theta is this theta, and the other theta is this theta. Let's call this theta phi. Okay, let's call this phi. Apologies. So this angle is phi. This angle is also phi. Okay. So notice that the angle is always a constant. It's actually not changing with theta or with r for that matter. So this is many times you when you'll have problems on dipole, this is one thing that will help you a lot. Knowing that in a dipole, the magnetic the exact direction of which, so this is essentially the r cap, which will be the resultant, will always have exactly this angle. From using this fact, you can, so you might be given one of the components, you can use it to calculate the other component with, and they won't give you anything else, right? So this is something that it's always a good habit to always keep in your mind. You also notice where this is coming from, so it's easier to keep it in your mind. It's coming from the fact that the perpendicular component is, sorry, parallel component is twice the parallel perpendicular component. So yeah, all of this makes sense. Yes, correct.
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Okay, now let's
If
move ahead.
So
Let's.
this is basically for r cap, the direction of the vector.
I'm sorry.
This is basically for direction of vector, the r cap.
Yes, the direction of the resultant vector. Okay, now let's move on and talk about motion in an electric field.
So the simplest example of an electric field that one can think of, there are many functions of electric field that one can think of, but the simplest is a constant electric field. So let's say you have an electric field which looks like this, which is essentially a vector at every single point in space pointing in this direction, right? That is essentially what I mean by this big line. These are that every single point has a vector associated, has a value associated with, has a vector associated with it. So it has a direction and it has a magnitude. Correct.
Ji sir.
Now, if I keep, let's say, a charge q inside this electric field, what's the force that this charge is going to? Uh, so let's say this is a plus positive kind of a charge. Well, we already know that the electric field, how we're defining it, was when we essentially defined it, was through the force itself, right? It was essentially the force divided by the charge, taking the limit charge tending to zero, correct? So,
So what is the force over charge?
so when we talked initially, we talked about the Coulomb's force. It was k q1 q2 over r square, correct? Then we talked
Yes.
about the electric field because of charge, and what we did was essentially remove it. Q. So we were essentially dividing by Q2 and taking the limit Q2 tending to zero. So these two cancel out. So essentially, it just becomes this part. This big part becomes the electric field. But now, if you're given a charge which is inside, sitting inside an electric field, and the question is the opposite one: how much force is the charge going to feel? Well, this logic will be exactly the same. If the force will be in the same direction as the electric field, so the force will be in the direction that is flowing towards the electric field, and the amount of force will essentially be the charge of the particle multiplied by the electric field. That so all of them vectors. Does this make sense?
So force is equal to charge into electric field because electric field is equal to force over charge. Yes.
Yes. And for a charge, you have a negative charge. You have the force, same amount of force, but in the opposite direction, right?
Ji sir.
Lovely. So the force in this is on plus q charge. So let's say the force on the minus charge is essentially q times e vector, but with a minus sign, which essentially is telling us in the opposite direction. So what essentially all of this means is that the magnitude of force will always remain q times the magnitude. So just by knowing the electric field and knowing the charge, you can calculate how much force. And as soon as you're talking about how much force there is, you can calculate that quantity. Now you're talking about motion, because from force you can calculate velocity. You can calculate first you can calculate acceleration, then you can calculate velocity, and then you can calculate displacement. So you can solve all of kinematics inside the system. So you have all of kinematics inside this system. Okay, so that is essentially where we're headed. Now, notice all of this is inside an electric field, which is uniform, right? So inside a uniform electric field, but there can also be a non-uniform kind of field, something which not only changes in direction but also changes in magnitude. Just that the magnitude here is this much, and the magnitude here is this much, and the magnitude here is something else. So at every point in space-time, if you let's say all of point in space, sorry, not space-time, all of point in space, every single point has a vector associated with it. Small vector. Such an example is a non-uniform electric field. What will happen in the non-uniform electric field? What will happen is essentially, since the electric field will start depending on the position vector of, let's say the origin is somewhere here. So now from the origin, wherever you are on this grid, you will feel the force that is because of the electric field on that point, correct? So the force essentially may also be a function of x given by this particular equation. Make sense?
Yes sir.
Lovely.
Sir,
Okay.
can you please explain this last formula? Like Q is charge, electric field in the particular direction
Yes.
based on the position of the.
No. Wait. You know what? Oh, wait. This is an important point. Let's not take it lightly. So let's think about a function, just a function of x. What essentially this means? This means that you have a value of x, you put it into this generator, and what you get out is some e of x, right? This is essentially an operator, which essentially gives out the value of x. Both of these note that are numbers. This, however, this operation itself may not be a number, correct? In what
Ji,
sense?
sir.
So, for example, you have x, the variable x, or x squared, let's say. Now, x square is a number, is just real numbers, right? It's just a variable in real numbers. You can take a
Yes.
derivative of this, and you can get to x. So this essentially is an operator here, and it takes in the a value which is a real number, and it gives out another value which is also a real number, right? Here, this is happening.
So we have
Here,
an operator and we have a real number.
yes. Now, here the difference is that instead of taking in one value, you're taking in three values now. Because my vector x has three components: the x component, the y component, and the z component. If it's a three-dimensional problem, if it's a two-dimensional problem, then you will only have two components: the x component, the y component. So now essentially you're taking in three variables and giving out some three variables. What does essentially this all mean? All of this means is that, so for example, let's take the temperature field. Okay, let's take something. The temperature is a function of just space. So every single point in space, all this is saying is that there will be a number associated which will tell you the magnitude of the temperature, correct?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, when we're talking about an electric field in this case, or a field, so at every single point, now what will you will have is a vector, and hence at every single point you will have a different direction, of course, as well, which will also be a field. So remember how we defined a field. A field is a function of space and time. That's it. That's a very simple definition of field. There are more complicated mathematical definitions of fields. I'm not saying that there aren't, but this is how physics people essentially define it. Make sense?
Ji, sir.
Lovely. Okay. Let's solve a question. Let's actually. I'll just ask you this question. You have an electric field, and it's a constant electric field, right? It's given magnitude is some e, and it's in the direction upper. Okay. Upper means j cap. Okay. Now you have a charge which is kept here, which let's say is some plus q charge, and it's given some initial. It's moving with some initial velocity. So let's say it starts at some point x naught with some initial velocity v naught. Calculate what will be x after some time t, what is x as a function of t, and calculate what is v as a function of t. So this is a question to you. Go ahead.
Sir, we just have to differentiate the distance with time so that we get.
Go ahead and tell me the answer.
Sir, we have to take out the value of v with respect to t and x with respect to t, right?
Yes. Such kind of a problem is an example of an initial value problem. You'll hear this term a lot in the future. Huh? Huh. हाँ, युवराज निष्कर्ष is saying please open your video. Yes. Hello.
सर नहीं समझ आ रहा. Sir, you are on mute.
Apologies. So okay, what essentially is happening here is that you have a charge plus q, which is kept in an electric field. It's at some position x naught and moving with some velocity v naught. The force acting on this charge will essentially just be q times e, right? So this implies the acceleration. So force is just mass times acceleration, correct? Which is just qe. So your acceleration just becomes qe over m. Make sense?
हाँ जी, एक मिनट सर.
All I'm doing is applying Newton's law here. Newton uncle. Contribution to human society.
Q is a constant, right?
Q is the charge.
So charge is a constant value.
Yeah, it's a constant value. Yes, absolutely. And
And
E is
there's
also a
also-
constant here. E is also a constant here.
So what do we have to differentiate as everything is a constant?
There is no differentiation here. There's the opposite of differentiation, which is integration. You can write A as dV by dt. E over m. Take the dt on the other side. You have QE over m times dt. Let's integrate on both sides. Let's say initial time is some t naught, and the final time is some t.
अगर differentiate करके integrate करेंगे तो same. अच्छा d v कर दिया हमने. Okay. तो v के लिए
Step by step, step by step.
v
Step by
की
step.
हमारी value आ जाएगी. So what we did was हमने a को differentiate कर लिया ताकि v आ जाए.
नहीं. A को differentiate नहीं किया है. A is the differential of the velocity.
हाँ मतलब उस टर्म में लिख लिया हमने v की टर्म्स में लिख लिया a को.
Yes.
And फिर हम उसे इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो dt हट जाएगा वहां से.
Let's see what happens. Let's not jump ahead. Let's talk about the limits first. Let's say it's going from t naught to t. What will be the lower limit on the left hand side?
Sir, t naught to t.
Yes, v naught to v, because it's v as a function of t, right?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So this is just v as a function of t minus v naught is just equal to qe m t minus t naught, correct?
Yes. Sir.
Lovely. So this implies v as a function of t is just v naught plus qe over m times t minus t naught. Have you seen this equation anywhere before? Yes, you have. It is just v is equal to u plus at. in a fancy form. Think about it. V, U, initial velocity. A, this is exactly the acceleration. This is just your force divided by the mass, which is just acceleration. And time, you have time there.
Okay. Okay.
Now let's do the next step of calculating the displacement as well. So what do you have? You have v as a function of t is equal to some v naught plus qe over m times t minus t naught. Lovely. So let's write v as dx by dt, right? V is the same as dx
Yes.
by dt, and it's also a function of time. You have this is equal to v naught qe over m t minus t naught. Doing the exact same thing, taking the dt on the other side, you have the differential of x as a function of t is equal to v naught plus qe over m times t minus t naught dt. dt पूरे का है, right? And we have to integrate on both sides. What are the limits again? You have t0 to t, and displacement is from x0 to some x as a function of t. Correct?
Okay.
Lovely.
1 minute. Like that.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the new page since we know we can do this. Okay. So wait, what did we have again? Yes. Yes. So essentially, I'll just write this down again. You have integral of dx going from x0 to x as a function of t should be equal to the integral from t naught to t. You have uh, a v naught.
So can we stay this page for 1 minute?
The previous page.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay.
Yes, now we can.
Is it that important?
So I just have to know this.
Okay. QE over M multiplied by T minus T naught times dt. Okay, so let's integrate this. What do you have on the left hand side? You just have x as a function of t minus x naught should be equal to v naught. So that's just v naught times t from t naught to t. So you have t minus t naught plus QE over M t minus t naught. So t becomes t square over 2 minus a t naught squared because you have t squared and both limits minus t naught into t minus t naught. Make sense? Wait, I'm skipping too many steps. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I am just skipping too. I just realized when I finished writing this, I had literally skipped like 6 steps. Should not do that. X as a function of t minus x naught is equal to, okay, wait. So first of all, notice that the only thing that is a variable here is t. Other things are
T.
just constant, right? So let's collect the terms together. So the constants, let's put them together. So you have, you don't want to have a plus here, you have a minus sign here, times QE over M times T naught plus a QE over M times T, the dt of that. Okay, so what do you have? You have T naught. Let's just do the integral, right? So the first thing is just a constant, so you just have T. So you have V naught minus
Yes.
QE over M times T, the whole thing from T naught to T. plus QE over M T square over 2 from T naught to T. So that means this is just V naught minus QE over M.
So 1 second, sir. So what we did was that we
There's a T naught
collected the
here
terms.
also. Shoot.
So what we did was we collected the terms that were constant for like V naught and uh, Q QEM upon and QEM upon T naught,
Hmm.
and then we added the constant
Yes.
QE upon FT,
Yes.
and then we did the derivative of any constant when
Integral.
will integral of any constant will
Is this
initially
T?
be 1.
No.
Is this T?
Integral of a constant dt is just c times t. And if the limit is from t0 to t, so from t0 to t, which is just c times t minus t0. And for a general thing, uh, so if you have c times t to the power n, let's say from t naught to t, you can, since
It
it's
will,
just a constant, you can
will
take
be,
the constant out.
yeah,
So this,
NC T minus T naught.
no, dt, this is just t times n plus 1 over n plus 1 from t naught to t.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay. So now if I put n is equal to 0, just to check, n is equal to 0, so this is just 1 for n is equal to 0. N is equal, this is just 1 and this is also just 1. So it's just t. So it's just ct. So what we did up here is absolutely correct.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. So for so essentially, let's take t n is equal to 1 then. For here you have t to the power 1. So n t to the power 1, c is just 1. So you have 1 plus 1. So t square divided by 2. So whatever you have on the top, you just divide it by the same thing.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
it's a trick to remember. Fast.
Yes, sir. And then sir हमने कांस्टेंट का इसमें t बाहर ले लिया और वो v नॉट माइनस q e t, तो हाँ उसको हमने डिफरेंशिएट किया. ओके सर. यस सर. c की वैल्यू होगी ना, तो हमने c बेसिकली ब्रैकेट में ले लिया.
C कौन? yes, C1 है हमारा.
Okay.
Yeah.
तो t minus t
Sorry,
naught, and
C1
this
नहीं
is
है, CA ही है. QE by. Or in this case, this whole thing.
जी सर. एंड सर सेकंड वाले का इंटीग्रल हमारा हो जाएगा t naught square upon.
So no, how do you do this? First, put in the upper value. So what is the upper value? T square over 2. Then subtract the lower value. T naught square over 2. So essentially, this is what you will get. Let me just remove some of this. So what do you have? You have x as a function of t. Let's take this x naught that we had on the left hand side to the right hand side as well. So you have x naught plus. Now, how to write things like this? So first write all the constant things, then write the first order things, then write the second order things. What do I mean by that? Just see. X first constant is x naught. Then from this term, all of this here is a constant, and this is a constant. So when you multiply two constant, it will still remain a constant, right? So what essentially you will have is some v naught t naught x minus v naught t naught x minus v naught t naught plus QE over M T naught squared. Does this remind you of something?
सर हाँ सर पता है
Right.
मुझे सर. s is equal to ut plus 1 into 80.
Exactly. So again, but all of this is just a constant. This is just a constant. This is, we have not reasoned the half 80 squared part. We haven't reached the linear part also. So even in that equation, s equal to ut plus half t square. Notice that the first term is ut, so it's a first order t is equal t का order power 1 है. and in the second term t का power 2 है, so it's a second order term. So here, let's see what we do. This is just a constant, so zeroth order term plus the first order term is your v naught minus q e t naught over m times t. This is your first order term, correct?
सर हमारा v नॉट कहाँ से आ रहा है इसमें?
ये रहा ना बच्चा, v naught तो ये रहा.
ओके, तो हमने यहाँ पे v नॉट t नॉट लिया, हमने पहले उसको मल्टीप्लाई कर लिया उससे बाहर वाले ब्रैकेट से, राइट? जो t माइनस t नॉट है.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
ओके, यस सर.
So it's essentially, see, there's nothing special that I'm doing. All that I'm doing is collecting the terms in an intelligent manner because I know how to use them. So I know how they're going to be useful in the future, essentially.
सर अच्छा ना, मैं भी एनालाइज कर रहा हूँ कैसे कर.
Very good. That's nice. That is the important part actually. If you're able to analyze the things, then your problems are way simpler than if you're not able to analyze the things. Khair, anywho, okay. So the first order term आ गया. Second order term is the t square term. So what is the second order term? So q e over 2m t square. So let's compare it to s equal to ut plus half at square. Half at square.
सर हाफ तो वहाँ पे आ गया 80 स्क्वायर
Half आ
लास्ट
गया. This is your a.
हो गया और वो t स्क्वायर आ गया.
Lovely.
Yes.
Now, what about this thing? What about this weird monster here? What is this?
Sir, I guess initially this would turn out to be 0.
No, no. We are given some constant values, right? But notice what it is. It is just v naught, which is the initial velocity, minus the acceleration times
Into
the initial
time.
time.
Initial time.
Yes. So this is essentially your initial velocity, like literally your initial velocity, because what is happening is that we're taking our initial point to be t naught. It
Yes,
still
sir.
can start from t is equal to 0, right? If t naught, if we start from, if we are able to trace back, that is when this is essentially useful. When you
So
start,
v naught minus a t naught.
yes. So this is essentially still your initial
Acceleration.
velocity.
Yes, sir. Got it.
But your acceleration is just a constant also. So this is essentially your velocity at what point though? So you're taking the velocity at this point right now.
That's the initial point because it's t naught, right? So it would be the initial. The
At
back.
t is equal to 0.
Yes, sir.
At t is equal to 0. So this
Because
is
t naught is 0.
yes. This is
So
velocity.
that's why we 0. Yeah.
Yes. This is velocity at t is equal to 0. What about this term?
Sir, this is
Bigger monster.
So
This is-
last thing is 80 at 0, 80 square. The last one. Yes, sir.
Yes, 80 square.
At 0.
Some b naught t.
80 at 0.
Yes. So this will just be x at 0. All of this monster.
Distance at 0. Yes, sir.
Distance at x t is equal to 0. Not at t is equal
Distance
to t
at-
naught. Distance at t is equal to 0.
So basically where we started, the distance of it.
Yes.
So wouldn't it
initially-
be 0?
when essentially your system would have started, your system always starts at t is equal to 0, right? Even if
Yeah.
you're saying I am starting the system at t is equal to t naught, inherently you're saying your system is starting at t is equal to 0, because always you're saying that whenever you're saying that there is some time, so there's going to be some after and there's going to be some before, and since there is some before, there's going to be some before that, there's always going to be some before that, and you can keep on doing this process up till t is equal to 0, correct?
Yes, sir.
That is where the process breaks down. So that's essentially what all of this is saying. This is initial position. This is initial velocity. इसको साफ से दिखता है थोड़ा सा, तो clearly दिखेगा आपको.
So for example, a body was moving and it had some velocity, which is initial velocity, and the point from where it entered the system or where we started analyzing the system is x naught, because t is equal to 0 there. Right.
Yes. Now does it look familiar? So this is x as a function of t minus x naught. So x at 0. So this is essentially how much you've moved in time t.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
V 0 t plus half at square. This is essentially f equal to ut plus half at square. Yeah. So even though
Yes,
it
sir.
looks complicated, it's exactly that.
So this is one way of deriving S is equal to UT plus half AT square.
No, 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 no. This is not a way of deriving. Oh, yes, sure. I mean, sure, sure. In this case, in this case, in the case
Yeah.
of an electric field, yes, sure. I actually, you can just do it for any general. Yes, yes. One way, yes. You're right. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to the other part of the. मैं फिर से clear किया गधों की तरह. Plus six.
Yes.
Okay, now let's imagine a similar situation. You have the electric field, which is again a constant electric field, and in what direction? In the j cap direction. But you have again have the particle plus q, but this time it's moving in the direction perpendicular to the electric field. Okay, so this is the direction in which the motion is in. What will happen? What you would expect to happen is that क्योंकि force ऊपर की तरफ लग रही है, so it will essentially follow some kind of a path like this.
Yes.
Okay,
So this
so
looks like the path of R square or R, 1 by R square.
we'll,
That
we'll
time.
we will find out what path it is, and it will be very interesting to see what path it is. Let me see. Actually, you go ahead and try to analyze this. It will be exactly the same as we did.
So
Let's say the
basically
initial
what
point
I
is
was
some x naught v naught, and you
so
have
what I was thinking is that a particle has a constant velocity along the I cap direction,
see.
and
So in the
it
x-axis, you're
along
essentially
the
saying my acceleration is zero. So this implies
yes
my velocity is going to be a constant. So my velocity is always going to be v naught. So this implies my x as a function of t is always going to be v naught t plus x naught. Correct?
this
Where did this come from?
so from the previous derivation.
Not from the previous derivation. Bacha. Yes, kind of, but not really. It just comes from the fact that v is just dx by dt. Is v naught. This implies dx is equal to v naught dt. This implies x minus x naught. So you're integrating from x naught to x from some time t naught to time t. So x naught to x is equal to v naught t minus t naught. Lovely. So this implies x is equal to x naught plus v t minus t naught. Lovely, lovely expression. Nice. बहुत बहुत अच्छा expression. But what about in the y-axis? What is happening in the y-axis? Well, you
So
have a
at the
constant force.
so the velocity is zero, but we have a constant acceleration which will be equal to force is equal to mass into acceleration from the force which is experienced by the electric field. So from the electric field we can take out the force, and using that force we can take out the acceleration. Like that's what I think.
Yes, makes sense. Exactly. Just a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I just said my Zoom is not responding and it is not responding. मैं कुछ नहीं लिख सकता अभी.
1 minute. So मैं load down कर देता हूँ कि तो
Oh,
हट
nice. What just happened?
जाए. हो जाता है.
क्या random process है यार ये कुछ भी है मतलब. अच्छा अच्छा है whatever. This acceleration. Okay. This acceleration is just your q e over m. So this would imply my dv over dt is just q e over m. Let's take the dt on the other side as we always do to integrate things. You have q e over m is equal into dt. Let's integrate on both sides. Where are we integrating from? T naught. Where up till t on the left hand side, we're integrating from v naught up till where v as a function of t. Lovely. So this will essentially be equal to V minus V naught is equal to QE over M. Oh, my V naught is zero. Yes, sorry. This V naught is zero, right?
Yes, sir.
My initial velocity in the Y direction is zero. So this thing will be zero. Yay. Simplified problems. V is equal to, so this is Vy. This is not really V. So this is Vx and this is vy.
V wrong Y. Yes.
V in the y direction. Okay, yes.
So we have already mentioned that we are doing it along y-axis. So why this that makes sense if you only write it.
It's always good habit to name things appropriately, वरना confusion हो जाता है.
Yes.
Okay, let's. I'm already. Okay. Integrating this, we got this. So dy over dt, we can write it as qe over m t minus t naught. Taking it on the other side, what do you get? You get dy is equal to qe over m t minus t naught into dt. From where to where? From some y naught to some y. From where to where? From some t naught to some t.
1 minute. So how did we get dy over dt? Was from the vy.
Yes,
Y is basically the distance
along the y-axis.
along the axis. Okay, sir.
So essentially dividing it. So you're sitting here. So along the y-axis, essentially, this is along the okay. So this is nothing but y minus y naught, and the integral of this is quite standard. So let's like always, uh, yeah, let's always do that. Always keep the constants away and the variables away. Different. Okay, okay, okay. So what do you get? QE over m. Let's just do it here. T square over 2 minus T naught T from T naught to some T. This implies my y minus y naught is just equal to
So T naught is basically t raised to power 0.
no, 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 no. T naught is just initial time, whatever time you're starting at.
So
T0.
when we differentiated T naught, wouldn't we get T naught raised to power 2 upon 2?
See, T naught is a constant.
Okay, T naught is a constant. Okay, sir.
Yes. T naught is a constant, so the derivative
So,
of that will be zero.
so initially now we'll get QE upon M multiplied by T square upon 2 minus T minus T naught.
Yes. Minus T naught. So minus QE over M T naught T. Lovely. Now,
Uh, ये कैसे है?
now, okay. So notice what is happening here.
So हमने एक मिनट से हमने T naught minus T वहाँ पे ले मतलब T minus T naught ले लिया एंड हमने उसको माइनस को हमने चलो इंडिविजुअली मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया वो मुझे समझ आ गया तो QE over M T square upon T2 तो एक साइड हो गया
Yes.
वहाँ पे हमारा बचा था T minus T naught
एक और टर्म आएगा, एक और टर्म आएगा, एक और टर्म आएगा, सॉरी.
वही ना सर
हाँ, एक और टर्म आएगा, सॉरी.
आंसर वो T naught T थोड़ी ना होगा तो T minus T naught नहीं होगा जब हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो वहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाइड बाय T क्यों आएगा यहाँ पे नीचे
एक सेकंड मैं जल्दी में लिख दिया. Yes. So let's do this properly. This is y minus y naught is equal to QE over M times T square minus T naught squared over 2 minus T naught times T minus T naught. Yes. Okay, so you will essentially have 4 terms. QE over M with a T square over 2. This is your quadratic term. This is your T square term. Your linear term then will come from this particular T here. So minus T naught. Yes. So this will be your linear term, and your constant term will essentially be the T naught square from here and the other T naught square from here. So you will have one T naught square minus T naught square over 2, and the other T naught square will be a plus T naught square, correct?
Uh,
Yes, no, maybe.
1 minute सर. सर जब हमने इसे डिफरेंशिएट करा
इंटीग्रेट
तो
करा.
इंटीग्रेट करा सॉरी सर, तो उसमें तो क्या कहते हैं, 1 मिनट सर, मेरी वीडियो ऑफ हो गई. यस सर. सो सर जब हमने उसमें इंटीग्रेट करा तो टी स्क्वायर माइनस टी नॉट स्क्वायर अपॉन 2 कहाँ से आया? वो तो टी स्क्वायर क्योंकि हमने
Okay, 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 okay. So you had a t here.
यस सर,
The integral is t square.
वो तो करेंगे ना सर, अभी इंटीग्रल हमने करा थोड़ी ना था.
So this step is essentially doing the integral, no?
सर फिर हमने टी नॉट टी का तो करा ही नहीं इंटीग्रल, अगर करते तो टी नॉट का तो वो हो जाता ना.
This is essentially the limits I've written here, right? So then I'm putting the limits here. I put the limits here.
ओके तो पहले ओके हाँ जी हाँ जी, तो टी स्क्वायर तो हमने इसमें भर दी वैल्यू. ओके
Yes.
तो उसके
तो
बाद
पहले t वैल्यू डाली माइनस जो t नॉट वैल्यू डाली, तो वहां से आ
तो
गई.
टी माइनस टी नॉट, ठीक, मतलब इंडिविजुअली डले. ओके वो इंडिविजुअली इंटीग्रेट हो जाएगा. ओके
Individual.
तो फिर टी नॉट टी माइनस टी नॉट.
Make sense?
यस सर.
Lovely. Now see what is here. This is a minus t naught square over 2. See what is here. This is a t naught square. So if you add them, that's just t naught square over 2. Nice to see when things work out nicely. So you'll have t square over 2 minus t naught plus t naught square over 2. Now you have a quadratic term. You have a linear term. So this is your quadratic term. This is your linear term.
प्लस टी नॉट स्क्वायर का क्या हुआ?
Here प्लस टी नॉट स्क्वायर और माइनस टी नॉट स्क्वायर ओवर 2, तो
अच्छा
साथ में टी नॉट स्क्वायर ओवर 2 बना दिया.
प्लस टी नॉट स्क्वायर में. यस
So this is a constant term, this is a linear term, this is a quadratic term. Now notice your x equation is just linear, right?
यस सर.
And your y is quadratic. What does
So this means y varies and x remains the same.
no. Both of them vary. This is also varying with time. This is also varying with time, right?
मतलब y varies with respect to something else, but x doesn't vary. X is independent. Like
No.
if the
Okay. So here is what will happen. If I so let's write these two equations. Have you written the two equations down? Can you just tell me what the equations are? So here you have x as a function of t. This is x naught plus what was it?
x raised to power t.
X naught raised to power x as a function of t. Equal to v naught t. Correct? T minus t naught. This is what you were getting. And the y as a function of t. What were we getting? Yeah. So it's equal to y naught plus
So ये है कहाँ पे?
क्या चीज? Y is a function of t, no? This thing.
Yes sir, x and y वाले.
Yeah, this thing. Can you just tell me with this equation on the next page? When I'm on the next page. So tell me what it is. Q e over m
t square by 2 minus t naught t. सर मैंने पूरी नहीं लिखी अभी.
plus t naught square over 2. Yes.
2. Yes sir.
This is what it was. Now let's simplify things. Let's simplify things a bit. Let's take t naught is equal to 0. Okay. Let's take x naught is equal to 0 and y naught is equal to 0. Right? Initial point पे start किया and initial time से start किया. तो चीजें simplify करते हैं. X equal to t, so x naught is 0. So this is just becomes v naught t. And my y as a function of t is just this is 0. This term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. And only the term that remains is y naught, which is also 0. Which is also 0. So only term that remains is q e over m square with a 2 here, correct? Now
Yes.
you can take this t and put it here, right? In what sense? You can write this equation as T is equal to x over v naught, and just put it here. So what do you get? You get QE over 2m times x square over v naught square, right?
Yes, sir.
So how is this? This is a whole a constant. So this is y is equal to some constant times x squared. This is what the function looks like. What is this?
Which is indirectly a quadratic or linear equation, sorry.
No, this is not a linear equation. This is the equation of a parabola, right?
Oh, yes.
This is the equation of a parabola. Your
Yes.
particle is moving on a parabolic path. Where else have we heard about a parabolic path?
Conic sections,
No,
maths,
conic section projectiles,
projectile. Yes,
right?
sir.
So this is essentially what the problem here is, a projectile. If you think about it, it's exactly a projectile problem. Because what is essentially happening is that you have a field. अगर मैं ऊपर की जगह फील्ड नीचे बनाता है, ठीक है, मान लो इसमें
हाँ.
पूरा फील्ड जो है नीचे की तरफ है, एंड नाउ आई हैव अ पार्टिकल व्हिच इज हियर. सिंस द उसमें क्या होता था, ग्रेविटी में क्या होता था, यहाँ पे फोर्स जो लग रही थी mg लग रही थी. इट्स अ कांस्टेंट फोर्स. नोटिस दैट इट्स अ कांस्टेंट फोर्स. हियर द फोर्स जो तुमको e टाइम्स q टाइम्स e जो लगेगी, दिस इज आल्सो कांस्टेंट फोर्स.
So it is acting like gravity. Yes, sir.
दोनों का जो पाथ होगा, वो दोनों का पाथ
वो
एग्जैक्टली सेम होगा.
similar होगा. Yes, sir.
So it will exactly the same equations, exactly the same time of flight. वो जो सारी कैलकुलेशंस उसने की थी, वो सारी कैलकुलेशंस तो यहाँ पे भी करवा सकता है.
तो इन शॉर्ट अगर कोई भी फोर्स हो जो कॉन्स्टेंटली लग रही है और
Right.
एक सपोज हम ड्रॉप कर रहे हैं किसी चीज को, तो उसकी इक्वेशन हम वहां से निकाल सकते हैं. सेम टू सेम होगी.
Very good. Lovely. Lovely. So I think that's where we should stop, because it's already up, after time. And
सर एक नोट डाउन कर लेता हूँ, फिर छोड़
हाँ.
देते हैं क्लास.
पीछे जाऊं?
Yes.
पीछे जाऊं?
यस सर.
और पीछे?
एक मिनट से ये भी कर लेता हूँ.
Okay, okay. आराम से आराम से.
सर इसमें हमारा t इज इक्वल टू x अपॉन v नॉट आया, तो हमने उसमें x की वैल्यू डाल दी जो हमें आई थी v नॉट t. तो उसके बाद हमारा क्या कहते हैं, ये कैसे हमने उसके बाद v नॉट की वैल्यू डाल दी उसमें आके qe अपॉन 2m v नॉट.
नहीं. All we've done is t की वैल्यू उठाई यहाँ से, ये इस वाली इक्वेशन से t की वैल्यू उठाई और यहाँ पे डाल दी, नीचे डाल दी.
ओके ओके
और कुछ नहीं किया हमने. What is it? This is a moving part. Lol. Hey, there are moving parts here. Hello. Fascinating.
ये वाला पेज हो गया.
Lovely. Should I go back? और पीछे जाऊं?
हाँ जी. जी.
इसमें क्या समझ आएगा? मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा.
एक मिनट सर, कोई नहीं, मैंने लिखा हुआ है, कंप्लीट कर लेता हूँ.
हाँ, no problem, no problem.
सर तब तक आप मेरे क्वेश्चन का भी आंसर दे दो.
What is the question?
सर सपोज अर्थ से किसी बॉडी को इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऊपर की तरफ ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, तो बॉडी का चार्ज क्या है?
अर्थ से
हाँ, अर्थ से इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बॉडी की तरफ ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं.
How are you transferring the charges from Earth?
आई डोंट नो सर, यार टेस्ट में क्वेश्चन आया था जो लर्निंग वाला था. सर मैंने तो मेटल ऑब्जेक्ट लिख दिया कि चलो हो सकता है, बट न्यूट्रल चार्ज या कुछ पॉजिटिव चार्ज था शायद उसका आंसर.
लीड अ पॉजिटिव चार्ज, तभी कर सकते हो.
सर पॉजिटिव ही होगा तभी इलेक्ट्रॉन उसके अंदर आएंगे, नहीं तो आएंगे नहीं.
आएंगे नहीं।
बट वो कैसे, लाइक उसके पीछे थ्योरी क्या है, कैसे होगा, अर्थ से कैसे आ सकता है? अर्थ तो लेती है, इट्स लाइक एन इंसुलेटर.
See, the point is that the point of the question would have been to essentially recognize that even the Earth is made of these protons and electrons, and there are these.
तो क्वेश्चन मेरा आंसर सही हो गया था क्योंकि मैंने पॉजिटिव चार्ज लिखा था, बट आई वाज वंडरिंग कि ये क्यों है, लाइक अर्थ से तो इंसुलेटर है ना, तो उससे तो आएंगे नहीं.
It doesn't matter, right? It will still have electrons. If you have a positive charge that is kept, if the force is greater than the binding force, the electron will always go, right? जो उसका जो उसका पेरेंट न्यूक्लियस है, अगर उससे ज्यादा फोर्स तुमने दे दिया, इतना फोर्स वो लगा रहा है, it will always go no matter what. Make sense?
सर एक और था, उसमें उन्होंने ना सिल्क रॉड को रब किया था, तो
हाँ.
पॉजिटिव चार्जेस आ जाते हैं आई गेस, तो गोल्ड लीव्स डाइवर्ज हो गए थे. देन उसके बाद क्या कहते हैं, उन्होंने कहा था कि हाफ एन आवर के लिए एक्सरे वाले उसमें रखा था, एक्सरे रेस के अंदर, तो उससे क्या होगा आगे जाके रिजल्ट में, वो और डाइवर्ज करेंगे वैसे रहेंगे या क्या होगा?
कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा.
सर ये तो गलत बात है, उन्होंने तो गलत किया, मैंने यही करा था, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, उन्होंने कहा और डाइवर्ज होंगे.
गलत है. It won't have any effect. Wrong. Won't have any light. No amount of radiation won't do anything.
तो वही ना, एक्सरे रेस से क्या फर्क पड़ता होगा?
More deviate.
सर कुछ ऐसे आंसर था, लर्निंग व्यू का जो टेस्ट है ना, उसमें था ये क्वेश्चन, जो एक ही टेस्ट आया फिर.
You said it was a glass rod, right?
सर एक्चुअली वो मैं आपको एग्जैक्ट क्वेश्चन पढ़ के बताऊं?
हाँ. Because it depends on the substances there. Because if it's a metal, you can have photoelectric effect that starts happening, right?
सर हाँ, शायद से कोई ऑब्जेक्ट खा हुआ था जिसको इन्होंने वो करा था.
Yes.
ग्लास रॉड को रब करा था सर, बट ग्लास रॉड को रब करने के बाद उन्होंने आगे भी कुछ दिया हुआ था कुछ.
ग्लास है तो उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. ग्लास है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए.
एक मिनट सर, मैं खुल ही गया, बस पेपर खुल गया, मैं एग्जाम में गया. सर इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज एंड कूलम्ब्स लॉ, एक और आ गया पेपर. जी सर, अब ये क्वेश्चन था सर, एक ये क्वेश्चन था कि 5 बॉल, अच्छा पहले वो वाला बताता हूँ. सर a glass rod rubbed with silk is used to charge a gold leaf electroscope and the leaves are observed to diverge. The electroscope thus charged is exposed to X-rays for a small period of time. Then तो सर इसमें राइट आंसर दिया हुआ है कि लीव्स विल डाइवर्ज फर्दर. मैंने किया था द डाइवर्जेंस ऑफ लीव विल नॉट बी इफेक्टिव. हेलो.
हाँ, I don't think, yeah, the leaves won't diverge more. The leaves will diverge equally जितना पहले किया था.
नहीं होंगे ना सर कोई?
नहीं, ग्लास है तो नहीं करेगा.
एक ये वाला क्वेश्चन था, ये मेरे को समझ नहीं आया था. 5 balls number 1 to 5 are suspended using separate threads. Pairs 1, 2, 2, 4 and 4, 1 show electrostatic attraction, while pairs 2, 3, 4, 5 show repulsion. Therefore ball 1 must be. अब जो ball 1 है वो repulsion show नहीं कर रही है, but it is showing.
Can you say that again? How do I clear this?
So there were 5 balls numbered 1 to 5 and they were suspended using separate threads.
Okay.
And pair 1, 2, 2, 4
1, 2, 2, 4
and 4, 1
4, 1
show electrostatic attraction.
Attraction. So
yes sir, तो मतलब वो charges हैं.
Yes.
Unlike charges है, sorry sir. Yes, attraction. तो while pairs 2, 3, 4, 5 show repulsion. इसका मतलब 2, 3, 4, 5 जो है 2 और 3 और 4 और 5 like charges है, मतलब 4 और 5 का चार्ज सेम है और 2 और 3 का चार्ज सेम है.
Yes. So उसका
सर बट अगर अब इस क्वेश्चन में देखने वाली बात ये है कि अगर 2 और 3 का चार्ज सेम है और 4 और 5 का चार्ज सेम है तो अच्छा वो ऑपोजिट चार्ज हो गई, ये तो सर प्रूव हो गया कि वो ऑपोजिट चार्जेस है, बट उसका क्वेश्चन में कोई मतलब ही नहीं है क्योंकि इसने पूछा देयरफॉर बॉल 1 मस्ट बी, अब बॉल 1 का बताना है।
So let's start with something, right? Let's say this is some plus. If we run into contradiction, we'll know that we are wrong. If this is plus, then this has to be plus because these are
Sir, if 2 is plus,
this has to
let's
be
take
minus.
2 as plus.
This has to be
Yes.
minus, and this has to be minus. The question is wrong.
Yes.
The question is absolutely wrong. This cannot be true. You know why? Because you have 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 2 are repelling. 2 and 4 are repelling. 1 and 4 are repelling. How is that even possible? Because at
Sir,
least
वो
two of them,
attraction है 1 and 4, 2 and 4 and 1 and 2.
1 and 2, 2 and 4, and 4 and 1, all of them are attracting, right?
Yes, sir, they are attracting, and
That
2
cannot
and
happen,
3.
right? Because there are only two charges. So let's say the first one is plus. So that means the second one has to be a minus. That means the third one has to be a plus. But they cannot be the same. They have to be opposite. We can
1
take
is
the other way
plus,
around. If this is minus,
minus.
this has to be plus, this has to be minus. This is also not possible because you'll have both minus. This question is wrong.
सर वैसे हो सकता है अगर सपोज हम 1 को पॉजिटिव लेते हैं सर,
हाँ.
तो 2 माइनस हो गया,
Yes.
तो 2 माइनस है तो 4 पॉजिटिव हो गया, 4
Yes.
पॉजिटिव है तो 1 जो हुआ
बच्चा अगर 4 पॉजिटिव है तो
वो
4
1
that is contradictory, right? Because it's saying that 1
Yes,
and 4 are attracting, but they're like charges. They
this
have to be like charges.
this will be the answer. अगर 1 पॉजिटिव है और नेगेटिव है तो इट्स न्यूट्रल चार्ज, आंसर न्यूट्रल दिया हुआ।
There is a neutral in the option. Oh, okay. हाँ, neutral option है तो हाँ,
Made of metal, neutral, negative and positively charged.
न्यूट्रल हो सकता है, सी पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव से दोनों नहीं हो सकता, खाली न्यूट्रल से ही प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो सकती है।
सर बट इसके पीछे थ्योरी क्या हुई, ये न्यूट्रल कैसे होगा? लाइक न्यूट्रल होगा तो ये अट्रैक्शन ही क्यों शो करेगा?
हाँ भाई, दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ, but that is exactly what I'm thinking. So I don't know, there's something wrong in this question. I'll get back to you on this question. It's stupid.
न्यूट्रल है तो अट्रैक्शन क्यों शो करेगा? तो मैंने लिख दिया मेड ऑफ मेटल।
Something stupid. Something.
यस
कोई दिमाग बहुत ज्यादा लगा दिया शायद। होता है, कोई बात नहीं। चलो, see you.
थैंक यू सर।
No worries, take care. See you next week.